Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the last day. We have with us an eminent trainer, Mr. Gaurav. He is a very, actually, if you want, you can use his services also. A very eminent personality, having a idea on lot of tools, technologies for, especially in the area of computer science and educational technologies, pedagogy, and other things. He will be talking about the effective installation of Moodle for blended learning. Gaurav sir,
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
sir, there are few people who are already working with Moodle.
Okay.
I think in the afternoon session, if your demo gets over, you can also ask. I think there is one person called, I forgot it. Ulla, yeah, I think Vijay Kumar Uppla.
Okay,
He
sir.
is there. I think at the end he can also give the demo. I think he has installed the Moodle in their. They have installed the Moodle in their college.
Okay, sir.
But
Okay,
you are
fine, sir.
giving on web-based Moodle, right? Right, sir.
Both, sir. I will cover web-based Moodle on cloud as well as on local system. So on
Yeah, yeah.
both.
You can cover both so that I think majority of them don't know. One or two people, if in between, if they can give some demo on the left out topic, at the end you can call for some demos at the
Sure, sir.
afternoon.
Sure.
Right.
Fine, sir.
Sir, it is over to you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So good morning to all the participants. We are starting this session. Please confirm, is it visible as well as audible to all of you? Please confirm in chat.
Sir, it is visible and audible, sir. No issues, please.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay. So in this session, we will discuss about different perspectives of learning management systems, and for blended learning, by which way we can use these platforms. More specifically, as far as implementation is concerned, we will work on Moodle LMS. That is one of the prominent learning management suite, and thousands of universities are using this platform for automation of teaching learning activities. As you can see on this slide, there are so many LMS products like Camilo, Tutor, along with Moodle. So Metacoon, Blackboard, more than 500 learning management systems are available in cyberspace, even in free distribution. So we will see why we only focus on Moodle, which are different specialities in Moodle LMS. As there are hundreds of learning management systems available, still in most of the universities, even in India also, the top level academic organizations like IITs, IIMs, they are using Moodle LMS rather than Camilo or Blackboard or Sakai. So in any academic organization, whether it is any institute, university, school, or even any corporate organization, there are so many activities available. There are so many activities which are required for real-time communication, for delivery of content to the other end. If we discuss about any educational institute, if we discuss about any university, there are so many activities available. There are so many activities which are required in everyday's process, in routine processes, starting from attendance, feedback, online examinations, assignments of different types, mobile compatibility. If we are delivering the content to students, then students are expected to reply with their content, with their answers, without plagiarism. So we will see by which way plagiarism checkers can be integrated in Moodle LMS. Along with that, nowadays, as most of the educational institutes are working online, teaching learning activities are going on in online mode. So video conferencing is required, real-time chats are required, real-time communication between teacher and student, these activities are required. So generally what we do, we work on Google Meet, WebEx, GoToMeeting. There are so many platforms. Inside Moodle itself, within Moodle, there is a specific video conferencing module. So without need of any Google Meet or WebEx or Google Meet or any GoToMeeting or any other platform or like Zoom, we can communicate with our students, or teaching learning activities can be performed without any third-party software, whether it is a cloud-based application or it is desktop-based application. So we will see its demo also. First of all, we are discussing about different features which we can integrate, and these features are easily available. These can be easily integrated in Moodle LMS, even without any programming knowledge. In contrast to Moodle, or in competition to Moodle, there are so many other platforms available, but there are lots of complexities, there are lots of compatibility issues, language issues are there, internationalization, localization, these issues exist in other platforms. In case of Moodle, what we can do, suppose I have delivered a particular content in English language. Okay, suppose I have delivered a particular content about deep learning. So I want to integrate dynamic translation, real-time translation to regional language, real-time translation to international languages. These are easily available. Integration of Moodle with Google Apps, these are easily available. So directly we can integrate Google applications with this platform. Okay, and real-time discussions, forums, message boards can be created using this software. Payment gateways can be implemented. You can host your own workshops. You can host your own workshops, as nowadays so many FDPs are going on, so many workshops are going on. What we can do, we can host a complete workshop on Moodle itself, and certificate of participation, or if we are hosting a particular conference on Moodle, in that case certificate of paper presentation, that can be done within Moodle itself. So Moodle is basically a bundle of different activities which are required in academia, whether it is concerned with student activities or it is concerned with teacher activities. Teacher feedbacks are available in many institutes, or in most of the institutes. This activity is performed like feedback of faculty members, feedback of teachers with respect to their subject they have taught. So feedback can be taken using Moodle LMS. Okay, payment gateways can be implemented. Suppose you are hosting your workshop or your course on Moodle. You want to take money by Paytm. We want to take money by PhonePe. We want to take money by credit cards, debit cards, or net banking, or UPI apps. So these payment gateways are easily available. These can be easily integrated within Moodle LMS. Okay. So if we discuss about other platforms, complexities in other platforms which things are not available in Sakai, Dokios, or ATutor. As you can see that if we are, rather than using Moodle, if we go for ATutor, in that case what will happen? So you can see that many international languages are not supported. Suppose you are hosting a particular workshop and some of your participants are from Spain, from Italy, from France. Okay, so they need content in their own language. But in ATutor, Dokios, and other LMS products, it is not available. If you are hosting your content in English language, it will be visible in English only. But if we are using Moodle, in that case, dynamic translation can be done. Real time content transformation, it can be easily done. As far as Sakai is concerned, it is also free. Claroline is also free. We can use it, but these are having complex architectures. We need specific programmers. We need dedicated experts to handle these LMS products. So by this by analysis of different perspectives, different features in other LMS software, we come to this particular conclusion that Moodle is having so many features which are not available very effective in other LMS products, which can't be implemented in other LMS products with ease. Even if we are able to implement, then it is very, very complex. Okay. So we will see this, how to work with this platform. Now you can see, as far as Claroline is concerned, in that case, hacking can be done very easily. In that case, chats and forums are not very much secured. Data privacy issues are available. Data breach, these can be done. As far as Moodle LMS is concerned, it is fully secured using dynamic encryption, using so many algorithms for data security. We can make this particular platform very effective. We can use it with secure mode. So as far as Moodle is concerned, it is basically an acronym that stands for Modular Object Oriented Dynamic Learning Environment. Okay, it is basically an acronym, or it is an abbreviation. And you can see that these are the global statistics. This is the data that how many sites, how many universities are using Moodle LMS throughout the world. You can see that more than 1.5 lakh core sites are available. 1,58,000 sites means 1,58,000 institutes or universities are hosting their teaching learning activities, their academic activities on Moodle LMS. Okay, and how many courses are there? You can see that around 3 million courses are hosted on Moodle platform. So we will see its statistics. Is it audible to all participants? Is it audible clearly to all participants and visible also? Is it audible as well as visible to all of you? Okay, so this is, you can see that this is the statistics. So when I took its screenshot, there was, so yesterday I have taken its screenshot. So 1,58,000. So in one day, you can see that so many universities hosted their courses. Okay, and which universities are using, which countries are using widely Moodle LMS. So this is the main thing, that most of the universities are adopting Moodle LMS for teaching learning activities. Okay, so you can see that at top level, United States and India is also in top 5 countries in the world who is the user of Moodle LMS. In India, even IITs, IIMs, and other top level organizations, top level academic institutes and universities are using Moodle. So in India, you can see that around 9,000 institutes are hosting their teaching learning activities on Moodle LMS. And you can see, so all these things are available in Moodle stats. So this is the URL, stats.moodle.org. So all these screenshots we have put in this presentation. Okay, so depending upon the registration, depending upon the number of users, how many sites are registered. So number of users means number of students as well as faculty members. So if in any organization up to 1,000 students and faculty members are there, you can see that 1,39,000 sites are registered. Even institutes which are having more than 5 lakh faculty members and users, including students, faculty member, admin staff, technical staff, support staff, so they are also users of Moodle LMS. Okay, and this is the developer of Moodle who developed Moodle. So actually, what is Moodle, or from where the origin of Moodle is associated? Actually, Moodle was the topic of a PhD. So Martin Dagyamas, this person took the topic of e-learning suites, learning management system, and this researcher developed Moodle LMS as part of the PhD. And nowadays, this particular research topic, this particular research implementation is being used by so many universities throughout the world. So you can see that this is the actual research that we can see, that we can analyze, that someone's PhD work is adopted throughout the world. Is this presentation visible to all of you? Is it visible as well as audible to all? Please confirm in chat once. Okay. So now you can see which universities are using this platform, which are prominent universities, and these are very few out of thousands of universities, but these are the top organizations which are using Moodle LMS. And it is so in initially 10 to 15 minutes, I am covering this topic in broader way, just to make you comfortable on this platform. What we can do in Moodle, which are different features in Moodle, and after 10-15 minutes, very soon I will directly come to the implementation part. We will see the real-time demonstration of Moodle with different features. We will see how to create assignments. We will see how to create a quiz, how to work on chat, how to work on discussion boards. Okay, so at this level, we are discussing this platform in broader way with different features. so that you will be comfortable of this form, and after that we will directly come to the practical sessions, how to use it. So customizable interface in multiple languages, we can customize it. It is freely available, free and open source. No need to pay anything. Nowadays, as most of the universities and even schools are having their ERP system, but what is the major limitation in adopting those ERP systems which are already available? If we get our software, if we give project of a particular web-based ERP for teaching learning activity to third-party company, then you will be surprised to know that its cost will start from at least 5 lakh rupees. Even for 1000 students or 2000 students, if I want to develop a particular software for teaching learning activities in which video conferencing will be there, assignments, online quiz, and payment gateways including Paytm, PhonePe, Google Pay, each and everything. I want that in my school, in my college, all the software should be having all these features. In that case, its cost will start from at least 5 lakhs. But if we are adopting Moodle for all these activities, in that case, no need to pay anything. Its free clouds are also available. I will show you that without paying even a single rupee, you can host Moodle on cloud platform without knowledge of any programming language, without any technical knowledge. So you can see different types of languages we can integrate. And if we discuss about different teaching activities in any academic institute, if we discuss about which are different teaching activities, what we can do using Moodle. So creation of online courses, it can be done. Creation of forums, uploading of lessons, online examinations, online tests of different categories, online tests of different types, like multiple choice questions, true, false, matching, fill in the blanks, short answer type, long answer type, along with plagiarism checker. Creation of student categories, these can be done very effectively and with high efficiency in Moodle LMS. Real-time chat sessions can be created. I will show its demonstration also, how to work on chat-based applications, how to create a in Moodle so that teachers and students can communicate with each other. Generally, what we do in any organization, we use WhatsApp or Telegram. But in that case, what is the major limitation? In WhatsApp, there are so many friends. Okay, in our contact list, family members are there, friends are there, and classmates are also there, colleagues are also there. Okay, so there is simply a merger of a different type of users. But if we are performing same thing in Moodle, in that case, only teachers will be there or students will be there. There will be no friend, there will be no family member, and only relevant information will be shared. The relevant questions will be shared. Those questions will be asked, and each and everything will be in record. So later on also, any student can see which question I asked, or in next year, in next semester, in next session, the upcoming students can check which particular type of questions were asked by a particular student. Okay, and if you see which are different activities which are different modules available for students. So for following the lessons, to follow the lessons. So obviously, if teacher has uploaded some lessons, some particular assignment, then obviously it should be followed by the students. It should be replied by the students. Participation in chat sessions, uploading homeworks, assignments, taking part into forums. So many activities are available. So many things are available. Okay. And yes, we can integrate AI feature also, artificial intelligence feature also, that we can integrate. I will tell that thing also. Okay, by which way you can do it. Now we are coming directly to the implementation part. Yes, working with Moodle LMS. Is this notepad sheet visible to all of you? Is this notepad file visible to all participants? Please confirm. Okay. Now we will start working with Moodle LMS. In which ways Moodle can be used for academia? First option. Option 1. Work on cloud, Moodle on cloud. Option 2. I will tell about each and every option independently. Okay. First of all, I'm writing about it, that which different options are available. First option is that work with Moodle on cloud. Second option is installation via XAMPP Bitnami. It is desktop based or own installation. If I want to install Moodle on my own system, if I want to create Moodle server for my own organization, and that server is required to be in my control. Suppose I want to work on Moodle in my laptop. I want to work on Moodle for my institute. So obviously in some laptop or in some server, I will install it. So this is option 2, either by XAMPP Bitnami. Option 3, we can use WAMP server and MySQL and Moodle stack. Moodle from moodle.org. Okay. Now we will see each and every option independently. Which option is better? What we can do? There are so many cloud platforms available in which pre-installed Moodle. Pre-installed Moodle. No need to install anything. No need to install anything. Any software. This is the easiest method. Easiest method of deployment. Even kids can operate it. Whosoever knows how to work on WhatsApp, how to work on Facebook, Twitter, anybody can use it. Anybody can use without programming knowledge. This is option 1. This is the easiest option. Second option. If we are working on our own system, if I want to install Moodle on my own laptop, on my own server, in that case, we have to download and install XAMPP server. XAMPP server means X for, it is basically free and open source stack. Okay, X for multiple operating systems, A for Apache, M for MySQL or MariaDB, and P for PHP Perl. This is for PHP Perl. And after that, it's Moodle installation from Bitnami. So what is Bitnami? Bitnami is basically a stack. Okay, I'm showing you that Bitnami XAMPP. This is bitnami.com/stack/XAMPP. Is this visible to all of you? Is this URL visible to all participants? This. So in this case, what we do, we download XAMPP server, and on XAMPP server, we simply install Moodle LMS. Along with Moodle LMS, we can install other platforms also. Suppose I want to install WordPress also. I want to install open source commerce also. I want to work on some CRM application also. Okay, but as we are discussing about Moodle, so we can directly download and install this platform. Okay, so simply download it. Its exe file will be downloaded, and next finish. It will be installed. Third option, download and install WAMP server. WAMP server from wampserver.com. So WAMP server, but as far as WAMP server is concerned, it is only for Windows. And after that, we install Moodle. So it is available on this. So first of all, if you are having Windows server, Windows-based system, that we install the software and we work on this. Okay. As far as ease is concerned, this is the easiest method. Working with Bitnami-based Moodle, it is the easiest method. Okay. So I advise, if you want to install Moodle on your own server, if you want to work on Moodle on your own laptop, then adopt this option only rather than this option, because it will be very complex. Not complex, it is also simple, but there may be some compatibility issues. Okay, compatibility issues will be there. Okay, and some files, G++, DLL files, maybe. Okay, as far as ease is concerned, this is a method for own installation, for own computers installation, for own. Is it audible to all participants? Please confirm. Some participants are messaging about
yes, sir,
audio.
visible, sir, visible.
Are you getting the audio? And audio also fine, sir?
Yes, sir.
Audio. Okay.
Audible also.
Okay. So if you want to work on own installation, if you want to work with, if you want to create your own server, if you want to create your own Moodle server, this is the best method. Okay, in my system also I have used this method, because if we are downloading and installing WAMP server, then we are downloading Moodle from moodle.org, then we will install it. In that case, what happens, so many issues arise, so many issues of compatibility. This DLL file is missing, and if you are not using genuine Windows, in that case definitely your system will not work, definitely Moodle will crash. Okay, so there are so many issues with this particular option. Based installation, this is better for cloud-based deployment. Now we will see working with, we will start with this particular option, because this is the easiest method. Even kids can also use this thing. Anybody can use it. Whosoever knows how to use Facebook, whosoever knows how to use WhatsApp, how to use a computer, they can use it. So we will start with the easiest method. This is the easiest method, and there are so many cloud platforms available, and this is one of the prominent cloud platform, that is gnomeio.com. So I will start the demonstration from Genome.io. Is it visible to all participants? Genome.io.com. It is
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
cloud-based deployment. It is cloud-based deployment of Moodle. In this case, there is no need to install any software. There is no need to download Moodle. There is no need to install Moodle because it is pre-installed version of Moodle. It is tailor-made. Okay, only we have to create our courses. We have to upload list of students. We have to upload list of faculty members. We have to upload quiz. It means simply create your account similar to Facebook and start using it. Okay, and as far as its validity is concerned, its validity is at the current scenario is lifetime. Okay, later on the terms and conditions may be changed, their policies may be changed, but currently if you create account on Genome.io, in that case it will be fully free. So suppose I want to create a new course, I want to create a website for my courses in my institute on Genome.io. So I will take some username, suppose NITTRCH3, okay, any name, okay, NITTR, any FDP, okay. Now mail ID I can put here markgaurav.in@gmail.com, and simply now in parallel I am opening my mail account so that I can show you by which way it works. So suppose NITTR FDP, this is my username. Now what will happen? My Moodle will be available as NITTRFDP.genome.io.com. Automatically I will get this URL, and it will be cloud based. Suppose my students are in other countries, okay, in other states. So there is no headache of installing of any server. There is no need of downloading or configuration of Moodle. I will tell them, okay, open this URL in your web browser and enter your username. Okay, so I'm showing you this demo. So I'm creating the account nittrfd.genome.io.com. Mail create site. Now you will see that very soon I will get mail from Genome.io that your site is being created. And I will see in my mail very soon we will get mail from this platform, and spam. Okay, so multiple options are available. It is having two flavors. One is free and second is paid. So it's up to you if you want to pay for a few. I have created some for demonstration. Sometimes the mail come after 3 minutes. So rather than waiting, we will directly use those accounts that we have already created.
Sir, audio is not clear. Audio is breaking.
Your voice is breaking, sir.
Okay. Okay. So what is simple process? See it account of Genome.io.
Sir, it's still not clear. Maybe you can just mute yourself and unmute again.
Oh, okay.
Hello, Gaurav sir.
Two minutes
Is it audible?
coming.
Is it audible? Is it audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, some network issue was there. Is it audible to all participants now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, sir. So,
Yes.
so what we do in Genome.io, on whatever domain we want to work. Suppose, as you have seen that we have taken nitrrfdp.genome.io.com, and we have entered one email ID. You can see that on my mail account, these credentials are sent from Genome.io. Is it visible? Only in chat you can confirm. Okay,
Sir,
you
kindly
can see
share your
that.
screen, sir.
Okay, just a minute. Now you can see on my screen, on my mail account, you can see this mail. Okay, is it visible? Is it visible as well as audible to all? These credentials are sent from Genome.io, and you can see this particular URL nitrrfdp.genome.io.com. So this is my Moodle application. This is my Moodle platform. Okay. Along with this, I have been provided username and password for the admin account. Okay. Now what I will do, I will log on to my Moodle application. Now you can see that on click of this nitrrfdp.genome.io.com, it will provide me login panel. So on click of login, now you can see that this pre-installed Moodle is available. This is the pre-installed Moodle. I have not installed Moodle anywhere. I have not downloaded any Moodle. Simply we are using the cloud version. Now admin is the username and password. This password that I have received by mail. So this is the default password that I have received on mail, and now I am logging in with my teacher account. I am logging in with my admin account. Okay. Now you can see this pre-installed Moodle on this URL nitrrfdp.genome.io.com. So this is the easiest way to work with Moodle LMS. And if you are having hundreds of students, those can be hosted. You can upload assignments, you can provide them quiz, you can create chat sessions also, you can integrate YouTube videos, you can integrate Google Suite, Gmail applications. So many things are available in this pre-installed Moodle. Okay, so we will start with this platform. Now you can see it is. Now after logging into this particular platform, nitrrfdp.genome.io.com, we will come to site home. So click on site home. On click of site home, you will see it will ask me to create a new course. Okay. Now, even you can also log on to this particular account, to this particular URL. If I create some user accounts, if I create some students account, then you can also log on to this particular without any configuration, without any installation, with any dedicated preparation of Moodle, we can directly start working with this platform. Okay, we can create accounts of students and we can start delivering sessions, we can start delivering the course content. Okay, so we will see how to work with this. So we will see what is the first step to work Moodle. After logging on to Moodle, first step is to enable the editing option. Suppose I want to create a new course. To create a new course, so you can see that at right hand side at top right corner, this setting icon is available, and this option must be enabled. Turn editing on. Okay. On click of turn editing on, we will be able to customize this platform. Suppose I want to customize this platform. I want to create some notice board. I want to display some forum. I want to create some chat session. Okay. So as an administrator, so this option will be available to the administrator at admin level. So if I want to change this interface, obviously at first level, we have to enable this turn editing on. So we have clicked on this turn editing on, and you can see that on click of this turn editing on, it is giving me the option to create a new course. You can see that this button is available, add a new course. Okay, add new course. Please confirm in chat only, is it visible to all participants? Are you able to view these processes, whatever we are doing here? Okay. So click of this option, turn editing on. So you can see that earlier it was turn editing on, now it is showing turn editing off. So after creating the courses, what I will do, I will simply click here, turn editing off. Okay, but to create new courses, to customize Moodle platform, we have to click on turn editing on. Now add a new course. I am clicking on add a new course. Okay, now it is asking me different values. Okay, what is the course name? Suppose this is programming languages. Okay, my subject title is, or subject code is PL101. Okay, so you can create a course like EC101, CSC101, CSC102. What is the course start date? When this course will start? So from tomorrow, from current date, you can start this course. And what is the course end date? This course and the end date as per the semester. Suppose this semester is up to 31st December. So we will set here 31st December. So you can enable or disable it. What is course number? You can put some description also. Okay, course on programming languages. Okay, okay, you can put here complete syllabus also. Complete curriculum can be pasted here. You can put the logo of that particular course. Okay, and save and display. Okay, so this is the first step to work with Moodle LMS. First of all, we have to create a course. Now this course is created. Programming languages PL101. Okay. Now what we do? After creating this course, obviously in this particular course, there must be some students. This course is useless if there are no students, if there are no participants. In Moodle LMS or in any LMS, this is termed as, this is known as participants. Okay, so you can see that up to now there are 0 participants. Okay, because currently we are having only admin account, we are not having any students. So obviously if I want that 5, 10, 50, 500 students should enroll in this particular course, to whom I want to deliver some course lectures, I want to deliver some study material. So obviously I will have to upload their data, I will have to upload their information. Okay, to create new students, to create new participants, what we will do? You can see that at right hand side, at this option, at this side, at left side, you can see that this option dashboard, site home, calendar, and at this second last option from bottom left, site administration. Okay, bottom left, second last option, bottom site administration. I am opening this link in new tab. Okay, simply open this link in new tab, or within this window also you can open it, but I am opening it in new tab. Okay, now you can see that it is showing me site administration. In site administration, there are so many options available. Appearance, I want to change themes also. I want to change theme. I want to change background of this Moodle. Suppose I want to put some flashy background. I want to put some attractive background, some themes we can put. So in appearance, we can do all these things. Okay. Users management, course management, plugins. Suppose I want to install Paytm. I want to install payment gateway, PhonePe, Google Pay, CC Avenue. I want to install BillDesk. So all these options are available in plugins. I will tell this also. Grades, users. Now users. In this, we have created a new course. Now we want to create some users. So on click of users, you can see here, add a new user, bulk user actions, or upload bulk list of users. Okay, bulk users can be uploaded. Okay, so I will upload, I will enter some users data. So just for demonstration, I'm creating one account, and this is student one. Okay, or I'm putting it student one is the username, and its password, its default password I am putting here, student@1. Okay, I'm noting it in separately in separate window, so that we do not otherwise we can forget it, what was the username and password we have set. So what we will do, we will create some user accounts, and we will tell that tell all the students that these are your user details. Okay, so suppose this is Amit Kumar, anything. Okay, amit@gmail.com or whatever it is. So rather than using Amit, I'm putting something. Otherwise, what will happen? Whosoever is amit@gmail.com, that person will get email from Moodle. Okay, so that person might get confused why this mail came. Okay, so rather than actual amit@gmail.com, I'm using this. Okay, now this Amit Kumar is the username and first name, last name, and create user. So we are creating one user account with this credential, user student1, and password is student@1. Now what we have done, we have created one user account, and admin user, this is the teacher account. Now simply close it. Just now, as you have seen that we have created a course, programming languages. Now that Amit Kumar, I want to enroll in this particular course. Okay, I'm repeating this point. Till now, we have only created a particular student. We have not enrolled that student in programming languages. Suppose this is PL101. There is another course, EC101. I want that student 1 should go to PL101 and student 2 should go to EC101. So we have to enroll it. Otherwise, what will happen? Students of mechanical will be enrolled in computer science. Computer science students will be enrolled in electrical engineering, and there will be so much confusion. So we have to take this very carefully, that which students should be enrolled in specific class, in specific course. Okay. Now on click of enroll users, now it will ask, it will give me options. Okay, now you can see that just now we have created Amit Kumar and it is visible here. So Amit Kumar. Okay, assign role. What is the role of this particular student? What is the role of this particular user? Whether it will be a student, or it is non-editing teacher, or teacher, or manager. So we will select it as student. If I select it as teacher, in that case, this particular person will be the teacher of programming languages, will be the teacher enrolled as that mentor, enrolled as mentor of PL101. So student. Now what is this non-editing teacher? Actually, non-editing teacher is that account. Suppose I use it non-editing teacher. In that case, it is neither teacher nor a student. It will be, this account will act as an assistant to the teacher. I'm repeating this point. Non-editing teacher act as the assistant to the teacher. You might have seen that in many top level organizations, there are some designations known as teaching assistants. Suppose I'm teaching in a particular institute. Okay, I want that my attendance should be filled by somebody else on the software. I don't have time to fill attendance. I don't want to waste my time in data entry of online attendance. So I want that some other person should fill the attendance on my Moodle account. So rather than giving my teacher credential, I will create non-editing teacher account. In non-editing teacher account, modification will not be possible. Only data entry can be done. Only attendance can be uploaded. Only quiz can be uploaded. But grading can't be done. Marks can't be given by the editing teacher. Okay, grading can't be modified. Grading will be done by teacher. Okay, marking will be done by the teacher. But clerical tasks, okay, clerical tasks will be done by non-editing teacher. So student, Amit Kumar is the student and enrolled teachers. Now you can see, now you will see that in this particular course, one participant is available. In PL101, there is one participant. It means one student. Is this clear up to now? Please confirm in chat. Is this clear? Up to now, is it clear to all? Please confirm in chat. Is this clear to all participants up to now? Okay. Now we will see how to communicate. By which way communication will be done. By which way teacher will communicate with student. Now you can see that this is my admin account. This is the teacher account. Okay, I am working as a teacher on this platform. Okay, suppose as a teacher of programming languages, I want to give some study material to my students. As a teacher, I want to give some study material to my students. Okay. By which way we can do? In case of Moodle, there are two things: activities and resources. Moodle plugins, Moodle block. In case of Moodle plugins, in case of Moodle modules, there are two things. One is activity, second is resource. Okay. Now, as a teacher, if I want to give some learning resource, something learning thing to my students, and that particular module is two-way communication. Two-way communication. For two-way communication, for multi-way communication, two-way or multi-way communication, we always use activities. For one-way communication, for one-way delivery of content, we always use resources. What is meaning of two-way communication? What is meaning of one-way delivery? Suppose I want to work on assignments. As a teacher, I want to give some assignments. So obviously, if I am giving assignments, I don't want that student should ignore it. So obviously, student will reply to that assignment. So this is activity. Student assignment is not a resource. Assignment is an activity. Why? Because I want that students should reply to that particular thing. I'm giving assignment, it is an activity. If I'm giving quiz, it is an activity. If I'm giving chat, it is an activity. I'm sending message, student is replying. Student is sending me message, I'm giving reply. So that is activity. Okay. Now if I ask you, what is video conferencing? Is activity or resource? Video conferencing, is it activity or resource? Whether I should cover it in activity or it should be in resource. Video conferencing is an activity because it is two-way communication. Okay. If I want to, if I discuss that, suppose some lecture, some PPT. What is PPT? What is PowerPoint presentation? PPT is a resource. Okay. Because it is a static thing. Ebook is a resource. Okay. I want to give some study material. That is a resource. So if I want that other people should take it and should use it, no need to reply. So I have sent some PPT, I have sent some ebook, I have sent some study material, I have sent some link of YouTube video. That is a resource. If I want that communication should take place for that activity. So in this case also, now as a teacher in my programming language course, you can see this option, add an activity or resource. On click of this, you will see so many options will be available with me. If I want to deliver some resources, in resource, what is this? I want to give some book. I want to give some URL, suppose some website link I want to share with my students. I want to share a folder. I want to share some file. I want to give some page. Okay, or complete book I can give. Okay, so these are resources. Now I'm giving this resource page. On click of this page, what is this? View this video or video programming Python. Okay, video of this. Okay, now view video. Suppose this is the title of my resource. Okay, I'm taking some video from YouTube and Python programming. Just for demonstration, I'm taking some YouTube video from real-time link, and then I will share it in Moodle. So you will see that YouTube will be integrated in Moodle itself. Okay, suppose this copy link address, and now you can see that within this page it is showing option insert image, insert audio video, record video. Video recording is also available here. Okay, and insert audio video. On click of this video, now this YouTube link I have pasted here. I want that my students should view this YouTube video. Insert media. Now you can see that this YouTube is integrated and save and display. Okay, now save and display. Okay, see this, and here insert media, video, and this. Now we have inserted a video. Okay, now you can see that YouTube is embedded in this particular web page, this particular platform of Moodle. Okay, yes, programming assignment, I will tell about it also. As far as programming assignment is available, I will show that thing also. Okay, now we will see. Now you can see that till now in admin user, I have shared some study material to my student. Now I will log on as a student. Now I will log on as a student. I will log in as a student from different web browser. Why? Because you can see that in Chrome, I am using Chrome web browser. In Chrome, I have logged in as a teacher. In Chrome, I am a teacher. What I will do, I will open Opera. In Opera, I will be student. Why I am not opening student account in Chrome? Because I will have to log out from teacher account. Are you getting what I mean to say? Why I can't log in here as a student? Because if I want to log in as a student within this web browser, in that case I will have to log out from my teacher account. Okay, because on same web browser multiple logins not possible. Now I am opening Opera. In Opera, I will open NITTTR FDP. Yes, on official domain you can also perform it. I will tell it. Okay, I will take your queries at end of this session. First of all, I am covering the content. Okay, now you can see this URL I am opening in Chrome, in Opera. Are you getting this point? Are you understanding this point? Why I am opening Opera web browser? Why we are opening Opera for teacher, for student account? Because in Chrome I have logged in as a teacher. In Opera web browser, this is student 1. This is student 1 and I am student @1. Now you can see that concurrently I am working on 2 accounts. One teacher account in Chrome, student account in Opera. Now you can see that in Opera it is displayed as Amit Kumar. In Chrome it is admin. So concurrently we are working on 2 platforms, on 2 logins, and you can see that after logging on to my student account, you can see that automatically I am enrolled in this course, programming languages. You have seen that just now I have logged in with my student account and it is showing me programming languages. Now on click of this, programming languages, on click of this course, I want to see what is the study material, what is the resource or activity given by my teacher. Now you can see that as a student, it is displayed view video programming Python. It means some study material is given by my teacher. On click of this, now as a student, you can see that I am Amit Kumar at top, and as a student I am navigating the content that is given by the teacher. Now I want to view this video, whatever video or whatever link is shared by my teacher. So you can see that on click of this YouTube video will run within Moodle itself. Okay. So now as a student, I can see it. Okay, I can maximize it or minimize it or whatever it is. Okay, so in this Opera browser, I have logged in as a student. In this Chrome browser, I am a teacher. Okay, so by this way we can see whatever content is delivered by the teacher, whether it is visible to the student or not. Okay. Now, up to this point, is it clear to all of you? This is the very simple thing, very basic thing by which way you can start working with Moodle LMS. Okay. Now we will see how to integrate chat application. Integration of chat room. We will see how to integrate chat room so that student and teacher can communicate with each other via chatting, rather than using WhatsApp chat, rather than using Telegram chat or any other Facebook chat. what we can do, we can create chat room of that course only, chat room of programming languages, chat room of Python, so that relevant questions should come, so that that particular communication will be on record. Later on also we can check which question I asked from my teacher, what was the reply of my teacher. So that is professional, okay, academic communication, rather than some jokes or some images or some other type of media. Okay, so content related to teaching learning activities. For that, what we will do now, I am coming to my Chrome account, to my Chrome, and PL101 as a teacher. At top you can see that I am a teacher, admin user, and you can see here add an activity or resource, chat. In activities you can see that chat is available. Now as a teacher, I want to create a chat room of this particular course, of this particular subject. So chat, and I will show you two chats in parallel. One teacher is one student is asking something, teacher is replying. Okay, just now we will see chat room for technical queries. Okay, send your queries here, queries or doubts here. Name of the chat room, this technical chat room, Python, anything. So save and display. Now you can see that teacher has created a chat room with a single click, add an activity or resource. Now click here to enter chat now. Now I will leave it here and I am coming to my Opera web browser. In my Opera web browser, you can see that I am Amit Kumar. At top right, you can see. Now I will refresh it and I will see whether chat is available here or not. So you can see that for this student, chat room is available. Now we will see communication of both teacher and student via this chat room. And you will see that it will be exactly same. That is the chat that we see on different corporate websites. Like if you open website of HDFC Bank or ICICI or Airtel, so automatically a chat room comes and you can communicate with them. Okay. Now this student is opening chat room. Okay, and you can see that click here to enter chat now, and at this point admin user, it means teacher is logging on to the chat room. So this is your, you can see that we are opening two accounts, and at this point we are opening this and this. Okay, now you will see. Okay, now please confirm whether both windows are visible to all of you, whether these both chat rooms are available to all of you. Now you can see that at right hand side I am Amit Kumar. This Amit Kumar is highlighted. At left hand side admin user is highlighted. Now as Amit Kumar, I am sending message to my teacher. Good morning, sir. I have a query. Now as a student, okay, I will tell you that AI feature also. Okay, that for that we have to customize it, but I will tell that thing also. Okay, first of all I am covering that this particular point. So is it visible to all of you? At right hand side window, I am a student, and you will see that as soon as I will click here in right hand side window, automatically this message will come to the left hand side window for the teacher. So now entered, and left side you can see that teacher has received a message from Amit Kumar that okay, now as a teacher I am replying to my student. Yes, please ask. Now from left hand side window of teacher account, I'm replying to my student. Is it visible? Can you see this? Is it visible to all of you? Teacher student communication in chat window. Okay. Now, please explain memory optimization in Python like this. So at right hand side, I am asking as a student, and immediately in left hand side window, teacher is checking which messages are available, which message. So by this way, you can see that how much it is easy, and this is professional talk. This is academic discussion. It is not concerned with some any good morning, good afternoon, or some jokes or some irrelevant messages. This is pinpoint to the subject. This is pinpoint to the topic. This is pinpoint to the course. Okay. So by this way, we can integrate chat very effectively. And if you want to talk, you can suppose as a student, I want to beep. So on click of beep. So is it? Have you heard this? As a, you might have seen this type of beep in chat applications. Suppose I want to simply vibrate other person, beep or talk. Okay. So if a teacher want to beep, it simply click on beep and this. So beep means if somebody has gone some other place, that can be recalled, that I'm talking to you, please be here, like this. Okay. So talk is also available. Okay. Is this point clear to all of you? Is this point clear to all participants? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, as far
Yes,
as
sir, it's clear.
yes, now as far as the concern of AI based, actually one question I'm getting repeatedly from one participant, that how to integrate AI based chat. One participant is asking about artificial intelligence based chat application. This thing is covered under chat bots. Actually, chat AI based chat. This is known as chatbot. Chatbots can be integrated. Actually, for implementation of chatbot, there are separate platforms available. There are separate libraries available. For chatbots, separate libraries are required to be integrated. I'm showing you those links. This. Have you ever heard about these platforms? Have you ever worked on these platforms? AI/ML, artificial intelligence markup language, Dialogflow, Google Dialogflow, Pandora bots. These chatbots are available freely. You can Dialogflow. Okay. So I'm opening this. So what we can do, we can integrate Dialogflow in Moodle LMS for artificial intelligence based chat application. Okay. Or AI/ML can also be integrated. SmartBot, I'm showing you, and SmartBot AI. SmartBot is available. So these are cloud-based applications. So these clouds can be attached with Moodle with a simple link. So what we can do with a simple creation of link, that particular hyperlink can be created with, linked with SmartBot or Wit.ai. You can see that, see how it works. So Wit.ai, these APIs are available and we can integrate it. So you can see that this type of implementation. For AI based chat applications, we have to work on these platforms. Okay. Or if you want to work in full free mode, in that case, AI/ML is fully free and open source. Is it visible to all of you? Is it visible to all? AI/ML. AI/ML is free and open source. It can be integrated with your Moodle. And so what we do in AI/ML, dear participant, Mr. Vijay Kumar Upala, in this case, what we do, I'm just giving you a hint how to work with AI/ML. In AI/ML, what we do, we put all. I'm writing it in separate window. In case of AI/ML, all possible questions and their answers are put in the database. All possible questions and their answers. Suppose I'm developing a particular link, developing a particular portal for my institute. So admission. So if somebody is asking about admission, in that case, automatically message will come. This is a query and answer. Okay, from in BTech or MTech or PhD or this. Okay, if next question is like suppose BTech. Okay, in that case, answer will come automatically. Okay, in CSC, ECE or whatever it is. In that case, so what we do, we put all questions, all possible questions which are required and their answers. So you can explore this platform, this library, artificial intelligence markup language for chatbots. Okay. So is this point clear to all participants? So artificial intelligence based chatbot can be implemented using AI/ML. Okay. Any question from the participants? And after this we will take a break, and then at 12 o'clock we will restart the session. At 12 o'clock we will continue the session. If you have any question, you can ask. Any query from participants? Yes, ma'am.
Sir, there are many formative tools for assessment. Is there any tool for end semester examination, like the students can write their long answers? Because in this pandemic situation, where everyone has faced this difficulty, exams has been postponed. So is there any tool in Moodle for this end semester examination?
Ma'am, within Moodle itself, if we are using quiz module, in that case, long answer type questions can be integrated. I will show you that MS Word like interface will be available. So we can simply write in that using what you see is what you get editor.
Okay, sir.
So I will show that thing also. Okay. Yes. And one question is that how to avoid the advertisements in Moodle. Actually, if we are deploying our own cloud, if we are deploying our own Moodle, in that case advertisements will not be there. If we are taking some free cloud, in free cloud advertisements will be there. Obviously, if they are providing us something in free, then they are having different sponsors, they are having different organizations in their link. So that's why they are sending us the advertisements. But if we are not using on cloud, or if we are using some paid cloud, actually Genome.io is paid as well as free. In case of free cloud, we will get advertisements. In case of paid cloud, we will not get advertisements. Okay, and as far as space is concerned, around 5 GB space will be sufficient. Okay, around 5 GB space will be sufficient. Okay, I will try this AI feature. Actually, that is a separate platform. Still, I will see if it is implementable because of the time. Because actually, it will be a separate topic of discussion. AI-based implementation. If time will not permit, in that case, I will show you separately. I will give you that code separately. I'm having that code. I'm working on AI/ML, and I will communicate with Vijay sir, with Vijay Kumar Upala sir, if it is not covered. But as per the session, we will focus only on Moodle LMS. Okay. And as far as its comparison with your with Canvas is concerned, there it is fully flexible. There are so many features available. So you will see other features also. Okay. So in next session we will see at 12 o'clock we will meet again. We will see other features of Moodle LMS.